Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to the stream. It is TIMBP Live. We are here. We are live. Things are going. We're moving. We're shaking. We are live and alive. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Perry. I'm the host of This Is My Bourbon podcast. I'm the guy who runs TIMBP Live as well. Goodness gracious, I feel like it's been a whirlwind of a week. My friends, the time has come again. We are here. I apologize for being a little bit late on getting things going. It has I've been just busy getting the stream moving and getting everything organized. But I think we're in good. We're in a good place now. I believe, at least. So, yes. Thank you for your patience. Very, very much. It's good to be here. I'm not quite as stressed. I'm not quite as exhausted. I'm not quite as depressed, even, I would say, as I was around this time last week. And that's not even to say that I was overly depressed. It was just, coming off of some of the survey stuff, which you can still fill out if you haven't done so already. The link for that is in the description below. No pressure, of course, but if you want to give some feedback on the podcast, your listening habits, how we can improve, all of that is below. No pressure, of course. But we do appreciate it. But just keep listening. Just keep supporting the show. Doing what you do best, like you're already doing. And that's all that we can ask for. And we love you guys. And just thanks for being here. You give me a feedback. Thanks, Tony. Thank you. You're also drinking Turkey 101 of the Glen, appropriate for this week's content. Yes, I am going to be getting into the Raconteur Rye Whiskey from our dear friend, Mr. David Jennings of RareBird101. We'll be getting there in just a bit. Jason Hale, Arsenic Culture. Is drinking water at the moment, but going to be making a choice soon. And Andrew West stopped by a little bit earlier. But it is good to have you folks along for the ride. Better fire off the old Twitter machine. Let folks know that we're live and alive. Reviewing the new Raconteur Rye. Guess there is not an account yet. Rye from at RareBird101. Dave Jennings, what is your daggum handle? There you are. Talking about favorite 95.5 rye whiskey releases and the get in now. Threads has Threads is on. Yeah, Threads is on the daggum We got the desktop app now. There we go. There we go. All right, we blasted off. We're ready to go. Excited to hear thoughts about this one. I am excited to get into it as well. It'll be a little bit. We got a bunch of news this week to get through first, but we will definitely get there. Last week there was no news basically, and this week it's chock full of news. I am really surprised at how much stuff we have to get through this week. We will get there. What the heck is a Twitter? I don't know. I don't want to get too far into it, but it's it's a website that used to be pretty cool, and it's kind of a mess these days. But anyway, Andrew's here. Good to know. Good to know. Seems like everything's functioning pretty well, too. John Sanchez. Hello, John Sanchez. I am sorry. Not speaking super well. I need a sip of water before I get any whiskey on the palate. But also excited to hear thoughts on the Rack Rye. Thank you so much for being here, John. Don't know if you are new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, but please do so. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Was very fortunate to have a sample sent my way from Dave. I was very, very excited to see it show up on the doorstep. Continuum transfunctioner. Is that a good phrase for like a tongue twister for getting warmed up? I don't know. Sorry, I didn't realize I had fallen behind the stream by a couple of minutes. It's all good. Got to hit that refresh button. Whatever was going on last week with StreamYard, though, it seems like those issues have been fixed, and everything's streaming to YouTube and Twitch just fine. Knock on Formica, I guess. Wood. There's some plywood underneath my desk. But hey, if you want to support the show and you haven't done so yet already, please go follow. Why does it say I have 431 subscribers? That's just not right. We have way more than that's so funny. We have more than 431 subscribers on YouTube. Unless something terrible happened. Hello? Stream Elements, what's going on? Yeah, YouTube is saying, like, when I go directly to YouTube, it says 1.23. But the overlay on... Am I crazy? I mean, it's showing a 431 on my overlay on the stream. I don't know. That's really, really bizarre. I don't know. Regardless, if you want accurate numbers, the best way to do that and support the show. It's a really terrible transition. I don't know. My brain's a little broken. If you want to support the show, you can do so through the... you being crazy has nothing to do with it. That's fair. Thank you, Andrew. Always supportive. You can do so through the Stream Elements link. Let me change my banner as well, so you know how you can support the show. It's through the Stream Elements link that is pinned at the top of the chat, and also at the link in the Teddy Ball Games. Perry, happy Thursday. Thank you, Teddy Ball Games. Teddy Ball Games. What a name And I hope you're having a great time playing games with some balls. Anyway, our method of super chatting is called Snuffy Chatting. Because we're not set up with YouTube through super chatting in the way that most people are, we have to have alternate routes. Through Stream Elements, our super chat, our Snuffy Chatting, it's in support of Mr. Snuffleupagus back here, not the professor from Puppet History, but Snuffleupagus. He is the patron saint of TIMBP Live. He is the main man. He is our goat, or our imaginary friend, however you want to put it. If you can't support the show monetarily, just being here is a great way to do that. You're already here. I love you. I appreciate you. Let's get something in the glass because I'm thirsty. So, because the Raconteur Rye is a 95.5 rye, I figured I would be drinking all 95.5 ryes throughout the evening and enjoying that flavor profile. I'm starting out with... Sorry, work documents in the shot. Starting out with low proof at 95, the Green River Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey, which is 95.5. Oh, and my coffee, my jug of cold brew espresso roast from Kroger was just it was just sitting in the shot as well. So it's good. Things are off to a great start. We're hanging in there. Doing great. Oh, good. A man was hurt in a stabbing today in Danville, Kentucky, which is not the news that you came here to TIMBP Live for, but apparently that's the news that I am reporting on this here broadcast. So that's where we are. That's where we are so far. You know, it's a little chilly today in Lexington. Just a bit chilly. So the cooler temperatures have actually kind of gotten me in the mood for some rye. So this is perfect timing, I would say. I am definitely not upset about this. All right. Like I said, we have got a monumental amount of news to get through, so let's go ahead and begin with that. Apparently, my chat window is not going to pop out for Twitch. So, hopefully everything looks okay. All right, we are starting first and foremost with a couple of charity opportunities that you can actually participate in. We talked about one last week as well that you did not have to be present for in Kentucky, and both of these, I believe, you do not have to be present for either. This one, I actually was... This was introduced to me by my friend and yours, Fred Minnick. He texted me about this today and asked if I would be interested in covering it a little bit, and I said absolutely. This is a fundraiser for the West End School in Louisville, Kentucky. It is the Ultimate Bourbon Raffle. This is a truly, truly amazing raffle that is being put on for some of the most underprivileged students in Louisville, Kentucky. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Bike and Bourbon is in the chat. Cheers, everyone. Cheers to you, Biking. Good to see you. Introducing the West End School Ultimate Bourbon Raffle. $100 a chance. All proceeds benefit the West End School. Is this the only... Wait. Pause. I thought the website had all the info I needed. I had to go to the actual press release. I'm very sorry. I didn't want to pull up my email. So we're going to go to the Google Doc. All right. There we go. There we go. Let's zoom in just a bit as well. No, I don't want to increase the font size. I want to zoom in. All right. It's the press release. Louisville Inner City School launches massive $2 million ultimate bourbon raffle to assist fundraising efforts. Brown-Forman, Michter's, Heaven Hill, Pappy, Maker's Mark lead the way for others to donate big. These ultra-rare bottles raffle for the West End School are not just unicorns. They represent some of the greatest releases of the past 100. That is right, 100 years, folks. We're not just talking about recent Pappy releases. We're not just talking about recent Weller's releases. We're talking about 100 years worth of bourbon. Through the support of bourbon CEOs and distillers, collectors and aficionados, the West End School, a tuition-free all-boys school located in Louisville, has launched one of the most ambitious bourbon raffles ever seen. Up to $200,000 worth of hard-to-find vintage and ultra-rare bourbons. 22 lots are ready to be raffled off on April 24th. For tickets, you can head to ultimatebourbonraffle.org. In a show of solidarity, bourbon industry executives, enthusiasts, collectors, and school supporters have donated important collectible bottles and experiences to make this one of the most sought-after bourbon raffles. The school recognizes that its backyard and neighborhood is located in the middle of Bourbon Country, and after many years of urging from other school officials, decided a raffle was an important way to join forces with the bourbon community. All proceeds from the raffle support the West End School and include the soon-to-be-built West End Girls' School, expected to be finished in fall 2025. Live raffle drawings for the 22 lots will take place at 11 a.m. on June 20th. Tickets are $100. There will be 22 winners who need not be present to win. Each winner can choose one of the 22 lots until all lots are taken up. Up to 20,000 tickets are available. It's an ambitious undertaking, but the school has the support to get this done, said Paul Bercanti, West End School co-founder and board chair emeritus. We hope to raise $2 million with this initiative, which will further support fundraising for the West End School. The curation of this effort is led by Fred Minnick, who has partnered with the school. Of course, you know Fred's accolades. If you're familiar with the show, if you're familiar with Fred at all. I'm a Louisvillian and love my community. The West End School is among the very best endeavors happening in our city, and I'm so incredibly thankful for the bourbon community has stepped up to raise the funds. I might have messed up that sentence there. All right. Here are the 22 ultra-rare prized lots. Brown-Forman 150th anniversary bottle. 2023 Michter's 25-year-old bourbon. Maker's Mark Private Select Barrel, Heaven Hill Private Tour and Tasting Experience. It's a You Do Bourbon experience for 4 guests. Each guest is to receive one of each product. Larceny Barrel Proof, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, and Bernheim Barrel Proof. Heaven Hill Heritage Collection, Old Fitz Barrel Proof, Old Fitz Bottled and Bond. Old Fitz Barrel Proof, that'd be nice. Series very, very special, 2018 14-year-old bourbon. Heaven Hill Heritage Collection, 18-year-old bourbon. And Parker's Heritage Collection, 5th edition, 10-year-old bourbon finished in cognac barrels, autographed by Parker Beam. Pappy, 5-bottle vertical signed by Julian Van Winkle III. Old Rip Van Winkle Lot B. Pappy 15, 20, and 23-year-old. Top Dog in the chat. Cheers all. Happy Thursday. Cheers to you, Top Dog. Hope you're well. Whew. Sorry, the rye went down the wrong way. A 1913 Early Times Bottled and Bond Straight Whiskey. 1 quart. 2023 King of Kentucky 16-year-old. The 4-gate collection, all signed. Kelvin collaboration 1 through 5. A lot of Watch Hill proper barrel picks. Newly Rye, Bourbon. 3 different barrels of Knob Creek bourbons. Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof, Jefferson's Ocean Aged at Sea, Peerless Bourbon, and Rye, Yellowstone, Rebel Cast Strength, Elijah Craig Barrel Strength, Starlight Cigar Batch, Russell's Reserve, Ezra Brooks Cast Strength, Michter's 8-bottle vertical signed, 2023 Michter's 10-year-old Bourbon, 2019 Michter's 10-year Rye, 2019 Michter's Barrel Strength Bourbon, and Michter's Barrel Strength Rye, small batch bourbon, sour mash whiskey, small batch whiskey, and a single barrel Kentucky Straight Rye whiskey. Try to get through these a little bit quicker. I'm sorry. 15 stars, 9-bottle vertical, Old Forester Birthday Bourbon and Distillery Series. Looks to be 6 different bottles in there. Weller 6-bottle vertical, Berghoff 10-year-old bourbon bottled in 1984. Stitzel Weller juice. A 2022 William LaRue Weller. Hello, Sugar Kitty. Hope you're doing well. Meow to you as well. 2022 William LaRue Weller. A Daniel Weller bottle. A Taylor 4-bottle collection. A Taylor 4-grain. An 18-year marriage E.H. Taylor. An E.H. Taylor Amaranth. And a 2023 Four Roses Small Batch 135th Limited Edition. So if you want to find out more, of course, westondschool.org. And then, of course, ultimatebourbonraffle.org. So, thanks to Fred and Cherry White for reaching out about covering that. I was more than happy to do so. Sounds like you can still, I believe you can still get tickets. I think so. I'm not sure. Anyway, moving on. Amazon just beeped at me for some reason. There's another charity raffle that is live. A Van Winkle 12-year is available to support the Ronald McDonald House. The Ronald McDonald House is actually a charity that is very near and dear to the Ritter family, my family. When I was growing up, my little brother Dane, who is actually expecting his first child, who is due any day now. He and his wife, Lindsay, are expecting their first child. My little brother Dane suffered from Lyme disease for about 7 years. And during those 7 years, he stayed in quite a few Ronald McDonald houses while he was seeking treatment for it. And so anytime that a Ronald McDonald House charity pops up, especially with bourbon, I try to give back if I can, if I am financially able to at the time. But anyway, a 12-year-old Van Winkle is up for sale, or out for raffle at $25 a ticket. Yeah, there is a link available as well over on GoBourbon.com. And it supports the Lexington, Kentucky Ronald McDonald House. 3-Chord Bourbon is collaborating with the Allman Brothers Band. Very timely announcement considering that Dickie Betts, their guitar player, passed away last week. What a crazy crazy time for them to announce this. Coming in summer of 2022. Three-Chord, RIP indeed, Tony. Three-Chord is crafting a whiskey that captures the essence of the band's soulful style and spirit. Three-Chord Bourbon, known for its innovative blends and music-inspired whiskey, is proud to announce the Allman Brothers Band as the newest partnership in their esteemed Backstage series. A year in the making and set to be released this summer, this collaboration will pay tribute to the legendary band's iconic sound and legacy. The Three-Chord production team is already hard at work, meticulously crafting a whiskey that captures the essence of the Allman Brothers Band's. Was that last week or 2 weeks ago that Dickie passed away? Was it last week? I don't remember. Captures the essence of the Allman Brothers Band's soulful style and spirit. Each sip will be a harmonious blend of flavors reflecting the band's dedication to excellence and creativity. We are thrilled to be... Last week. Yeah, that's right. We are thrilled to be partnering with such influential and iconic musicians as the Allman Brothers Band. Our goal is to create a whiskey that not only honors their legacy, but also celebrates their contribution to the world of rock and roll. I think it's funny when, not like super funny, haha, but it's always really odd to me when bourbon brands try to encapsulate, or whiskey brands in general, try to encapsulate the sound of a band or artist in a whiskey. Like, it doesn't always make sense to me. And it's the same as like trying to paint a song. You know, like everybody's interpretation is going to be a little bit different in one way or another. But in this case, I mean, like Three-Chord, I think would be the most, they would be the most well suited to tackle a project like this. But it's such a capturing the understanding of what a band sounds like in the form of a whiskey is such a nebulous concept to me that I wouldn't know how to approach it. But I'm not a whiskey creator, of course. I'm a musician, but I wouldn't know how to sit down with somebody and say, here's how you should craft whiskey based around my music. Does that make sense? It would be a very difficult conversation, I feel like, and wouldn't be particularly productive. So I'm just in a sea of celebrity whiskeys. I guess this is the first time where I've really been like, I know that they are being very intentional with it. Not that other brands aren't, when they go in with a band or an artist and they're like, we're trying to recreate what, in the form of drinking our whiskey, what it's like to listen to their music. But I just want to know what it feel, where that leads them. I'm a fan of the Allman Brothers. I want to know what that what that looks like with the final product. So I guess we'll find out this summer, one way or another. But congratulations to all parties involved, I suppose. Summer 2024. New product, new release from the folks over at Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company in honor of the 150th running of the Kentucky Derby. Pour for the Roses, like run for the roses, of course. 8-year-old age-stated bourbon, single barrel and cask strength, comes out of the gate at 126.3 proof. Only available at the distillery, at the gift shop. It's got a mash bill, a new mash bill as well, of 75% corn, 21% rye, and 4% malted barley. If you are familiar with the show, you know that we picked the very first available single barrel for Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company. That was it. It was for not just the folks at LBC, but also for last year's TIMBP weekend, that meetup and everything. It was a great time. It was a really wonderful pick. I actually got one of my bottles of it here. Sitting right next to me. The One Cask series from May of 2023. And an award winner as well. 94 points at the 2023 International Spirits Competition. Gold medal winner. Did I say 93 or 94? I don't know. But this was 70% corn, 21% rye, and 9% malted barley. 4 years and 7 months old. So, very proud of this single barrel. Thanks for reminding me to do the comparison with Schmeen Schmiver. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't know what you're talking about. Greg Keeley selected. Greg is our buddy. He is the founder of Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company. Selected this very special barrel from dozens of starters. Pour for the Roses was super exciting for the team. Kentucky is all about horses and bourbon. We are proud to play our small part with this limited one barrel release. We hope the punters enjoy it as much as we did. He's so Aussie, man. He's so Aussie. The label features the LBC kangaroo surrounded by red roses. The artwork is inspired by the paintings of the renowned Brushman of the Bush, rural Australian artist from Broken Hill that took Australian art to the world beginning in the 1940s. Sorry. The group includes the late Eric Minchin, Hugh Schultz, and John Pickup. Each bottle is signed by the wannabe distiller and presented in a burlap sack, reminiscent of a thoroughbred's feedback. A must-have for racing and bourbon enthusiasts alike. $150 per bottle. Sales started on April 13th. I'm not sure if it is still available, but very cool. Very cool little release that they did over there. Buffalo Trace's new London experience is going to open on May 6th, 2024. We had heard talk about this, I believe, sometime last year and did not really know the specifics of it other than it was happening, basically. We had seen this little storefront image just as kind of like a mock-up, and that was about it. So it's very cool to see that we now have a launch date for the storefront. It's going to open on May 6th, 2024, located in the heart of Covent Garden at 3233 Long Acre It's going to be the first of its kind American whiskey experience at the distillery's first official home outside of Kentucky. It looks like it's basically just going to be like a mini version of the Buffalo Trace gift shop at the distillery. It's kind of hard to make out some of these images. Let me see if any of them blow up or give us any more detail at all. Hello. Zoom in for me, please. Okay, well, we got Weller Antique, Taylor. There's a George T. Stagg up there, and Buffalo Trace. There's quite a bit of George T. Stagg on that shelf back there. But otherwise, I mean, it looks really nice. It looks super slick. The London location features an immersive sensorial. Maybe sensorial experience. An immersive sensorial experience that brings a taste of Kentucky to the nation's capital. There are two different tasting experiences. A taste of the Trace, a guided tasting of 3 outstanding expressions from Buffalo Trace's core product lineup: Buffalo Trace, Sazerac Rye, and Bourbon Cream. Interesting. And the option of a Buffalo and Ginger Ale cocktail sample. Buffalo Trace, Sazerac Rye, and the Bourbon Cream is their taste of the Trace. Okay. I think the Bourbon Cream is such a weird third party to have in that tasting. Where's the benchmark? I kind of agree with you, Top Dog. Where is the benchmark? Give me benchmark foolproof, man. Maybe the Brits just aren't, they're not ready for it yet. They gotta warm them up to it. If that's their experience, they definitely need some benchmark there. Hey, I mean, I don't disagree. Then we run the risk of, like, they are definitely not breaking the bank. I do not disagree with that at all. Then we run the risk, like, if they bring benchmark over there, because, you know, like, their standard is 700 mLs, unlike our 750s. Like, maybe they'll just start, we'll start having benchmark foolproof, or, like, you know, the whole benchmark line in 700s instead of the 750s. I don't know. I think that's like an unfounded fear. I'm not worried about that. I think everybody got super up in arms about that when some of those labels started crossing the TTB as like as like Jack Daniel's was starting to expand their distribution into international markets. So I don't know. I'm spitballing. I think that's coming soon, especially after Jack Daniel's did it to so many other expressions. I mean, I could see it if they did it with limited releases, but I would be so surprised if they did it with their with like regular shelfers. You know what I mean? Like a remember when we were younger, a half gallon of ice cream was a true half gallon? Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Those oatmeal cream pies, those are definitely smaller than they used to be. Where's this bottle? There it is. I had to include in my 95.5 Ryes an MGP. Because how could you not? And I remember seeing these labels get like teased on Coming Whiskey or Bourbon News or something. Even as far back as like 2020. Maybe not even that long ago, but 2020 feels right. But these are, this is from Filmland Spirits. Here, let me go back to my full screen. Filmland Spirits in Los Angeles, California. And this release is the Rise of the Robots. And it's all based around like old pulpy 50s and 60s movies. I friggin' love this bottle. I think it's so cool. They had a bourbon. I had to stop myself from getting it because there were so many other things I had to get tonight for tomorrow's episode, and they were just bottles I wanted to get as well. But I saw this and saw that it was 95.5, and I was like, it looks awesome. 94 proof. Seen them in stores, never tried them. Yeah, I'm excited to see what this is all about. Serve the drinks, save the world. Amazing. Small batch, straight rye whiskey. So it's, looks like it's 4 years old. I think, at least. It's got a rating on it. It's 21 plus. Amazing. Genuinely some of the best packaging I've seen on a bottle in a long time. It's got that like Art Deco vibe about it too. Very like Great Gatsby remake from whenever. The one with Leonardo DiCaprio. I have a couple of their bottles. They're real cool. I do not have the rye. Awesome labels indeed. The color is really nice. It's there is something. Stop me if you have heard this before. Sorry, I needed to take a little break from the news too. I feel like I've been reading it for a little while. This stream might go a little bit long because we're already almost at 8 o'clock and I'm not even halfway done. There is this like when a whiskey has a particular hue, and it's not when it's like right in the middle of that like golden amber, it's just slightly lighter or slightly darker. And this rye has it, where it gives off almost like an overtone of purple that is really like captivating. I don't know what it is. There's something about it. I'm also an art student nerd, so I don't know. Would have made a killer empty bottle to fill with water and highlighter under a black light back in the college days. Oh, that would have been cool. I have one of their Moonlight Madness picks from Big Vic, I think. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know they did picks. It'd be fun. All right, let's get back to the news. The other experience at the London Buffalo Trace thing. Location? It's not even really a location. It's just a shop. Is Tradition and Change, crafting the most awarded American whiskey. And it looks like it's a little bit more progressive. It kind of reminds me a little bit more of like what you actually get when you visit the Buffalo Trace distillery. White Dog Mash #1, Buffalo Trace Bourbon, Eagle Rare 10-year-old, and then Taylor Small Batch, and a small pour. A small pour. Be careful. You don't want to, those Brits. They've only had Scotch and Irish whiskey. I'm kidding. I promise I'm kidding. A small pour of a Buffalo Trace Old Fashioned. Tastings will range in price depending on selection up to $35. 35 pounds. Sorry, I forgot we were in the... we're across the pond. 35 pounds. Anyway, looks cool. I would stop in just to be like, hey, I'm from Kentucky. I want to see what it looks like in, home away from home. But I can't imagine going to London and being like, I've got to do the Buffalo Trace experience in London. You know what I mean? Whistle Pig has unveiled a 25-year-old single Stewie. Brian. Brian, can I wipe my nose on you, please? Brian. Apparently I can do Stewie too. Whistle Pig. They've unveiled a single malt whiskey. It's 25 years old. It's called Badonkadonk. I can do Herbert and I can do Stewie. I'm sure I could do more. I'm not gonna do all of the Anyway. Whistle Pig has unveiled the Badonkadonk, an ultra-aged single malt. Vermont-based Whistle Pig has rolled out the Badonkadonk, a 25-year-old single malt sourced from Canada and billed as one of the oldest single malts ever made in North America. Matured in New American oak for 25 years, the whiskey has moved to Vermont in 2020 to complete its aging and was finished in Cabernet Sauvignon barrels from the Silver Oak Cellars in California's Alexander Valley, bottled at 91 proof. 91? Yeah. And available in limited quantities, the Badonkadonk is retailing at $2,000. $2,000 for a 25-year-old single malt. Did it say? It did say it was new oak. Okay. Well, at least it's new oak. While the Canadian distillery where this single malt was made isn't specifically revealed, it can be safely said that the source is Glenora Distillery on Cape Breton Island in Nova Scotia, which was founded in 1990. Glenora is Canada's oldest single malt maker, situated at the far northeastern end of Nova Scotia. The picturesque Glenora, did I say Cape Breton? Breton? The picturesque, I can't even say picturesque. Glenora has a setting and a design that very much resembles a distillery in Scotland. And it also has an inn on the distillery grounds, making it well worth a visit. Oh, that sounds nice. That sounds cool. Whistle Pig was launched in 2008 and is renowned for its ultra-aged whiskeys, specifically in rye. The ryes being sourced from Alberta Distillery in Canada and MGP. I'll pass. Yeah, Top Dog. We'll talk about it in a second. In MGP in Indiana, Whistle Pig also blends its own make into its lesser-aged expressions. This release follows last year's rollout of the Beholden, a 21-year-old single malt also sourced from Glenora and finished in Whistle Pig rye barrels. The Badonkadonk will be released annually alongside the Beholden, whose second annual release is now available at $900. Both were available at bars, blah, blah, blah. So does anybody, how much was the Beholden last year? Was it also $900? Because if so, the jump from a 21-year-old single malt to a 25-year-old, with the 21 being 900 and then 25 being being 2,000, is nuts. Unless like the Beholden dropped in price. Either way, that's insane pricing. That's so much money. That could be your kid's first car. Like, honestly. I've never given a flying fart about WhistlePig. Here's my thing about WhistlePig. I forget about it when it's not in front of me. I enjoy it every time I have it. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that has ever held me back from ever like investing in getting a bottle. And it's not that like I see it and I'm like, maybe this time. It's just I'm like, I've never been so infatuated with it that I felt like this is it. I'm pulling the trigger. You know what I mean? Anyway, it's just a weird pricing scheme. I feel like, not a scheme, but you know what I'm saying. Badonkadonk. Why does it feel so like Swedish? The naming convention of it. Is Whiskey Advocate on LinkedIn? Odd. No, not scam. I don't mean it's a scam. I just... Scheme as in like it's a method of pricing. Like the whole process of their pricing system for these two products just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, okay, there's a 21-year-old single malt, right? That's $900. I still don't know. I still don't know what the price was last year when it first came out. And now there's this 25-year-old that's $2,000. Neither of those line up with this 10 years per, $100, $10 per year or whatever. Is that what we do? Or even $100 per year. Whatever the crap. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's just strange. It's just a strange pricing method. Anyway, let's move on. I'm getting caught in it. Jeps the Creed has a new 6-year wheated bourbon coming out. Oh, 75% Bloody Butcher corn, 20% malted barley or malted wheat, and 5% malted barley. 93 proof, 6-year-old. $60. It's in the gift shop. It's also in Kentucky, Indiana, Tennessee, Illinois, Missouri, Texas, Florida, Georgia, and Colorado. I'll try it. It's been a minute since I had anything from Jephthah Creed. the last time that I did, I had too much to drink, and I was probably too. I had said many nice things about it when probably should have said too. Anyway. A couple of new additions to the Kentucky Distillers Association. The first one being Bargo 459 in Knox County. I've never heard of Bargo 459. It's led by Matthew Bargo II and his wife Susie and their son Matthew Bargo III. The NFL draft is tonight? Well, shoot. Thank you all for being here. Jason Calori's favorite. Yeah. Jason was not... I don't want to talk about it. Anyway, perched on Kentucky Highway 3041, overlooking the new Cumberland Run Harness Racing Track, Bargo 459 is a small craft distillery where only a limited number of barrels are finished at a time. Its address is 133 West David Road in Corbin, Kentucky, south of Lexington, for anybody who's curious. Never trust the second or third. You are right, Tony. Their whiskey is all pot distilled. That has been proofed with spring water from the Cumberland Gap. It's a mighty fine place. And finished in either sherry or port casks. We are not... Oh, wait. Sorry. The dyslexia was showing through there for a second. I'm sorry. What I almost read was... We are not focused on quality, but quantity. But what Matthew said actually was we are focused on quality, not quantity. So there we go. Could you imagine a distillery getting added to the Kentucky Distillers Association? And they're like, yeah, we just want to put out as much as we can. I don't care if it tastes like swill. Everybody's like, are you sure you want to say that? And they're like, yeah, no, we just want to make money. We know it tastes bad, and we don't care. Making bourbon is hard work. Making good bourbon is really hard work. Our goal is to consistently produce exceptional bourbon that is a symphony of aroma and color with a rich, lingering taste. In that spirited journey, we stand honored to join this esteemed association and harness its wealth of knowledge while contributing our own innovative approach. Our alignment with the KDA signifies our commitment to upholding the highest standards in bourbon production. The distillery plans to release specialty small batch and single barrel runs with a diversity of cask finishes and limited edition releases. It also is preparing to open a tasting room to welcome visitors to experience the portfolio. So there you go. The other one, the other one that's being added, or has been added, is Jay Mattingly. I might have put this one off for a little bit. Might have put off talking about this one for a little bit. So they were in Georgetown and they moved to Frankfurt across the street from Buffalo Trace. According to founder Jeff Mattingly, the distillery continues the traditions first set out by his 6th-generation uncle, John Graves Mattingly, who was involved in at least 9 different Kentucky distilleries. Beginning in 1845, Jeff first opened his distillery, Bourbon 30, in Georgetown in 2010 before moving to Frankfurt. The new distillery is part of a $5 million investment from Mattingly and his new partners, Gold Corn Investors, LLC. 25,000 square foot facility at 20 Riley Road in Frankfurt features a 50-gallon pot still and offers a tasting bar, gift shop, and a custom blending experience. Expansion plans are underway for a column still at the Frankfurt site and barrel warehouses in Shelby County. The distillery produces a variety of spirits, including a 90 and 100 proof bourbon, single barrels expressions of rye, bourbon and wheat bourbon, and the light whiskey, and a new brandy to be released soon. Congratulations to Jeff J. Mattingly. Lex Rowe has unveiled the new Blood Oath Pack 10. It's finished in Merlot and Cabernet Franc. And it's got 98.6 proof, $130 a pop. It's a limited supply of 17,000 cases. I'm no good with math. Anybody know how many bottles that is? Anybody? Anybody at all? Anybody know how many bottles? Going once. Going twice. Okay. It represents a culmination of master blender and master distiller John Rempe's pursuit of perfection, combining rare bourbons, including 2 rye varieties and 1 finished bourbon. 680,000 bottles. That's not a whole lot. Sounds like a lot, but it's not a whole lot. In a nod to the brand's double-digit age milestone, Rempe employs a double finishing process, first in Cabernet Franc barrels for rich notes of, tart raspberries, Perry. That first word starts with a T. Tart raspberries. And black pepper, then in Merlot barrels for the nuanced flavors of redstone fruits, vanilla, cocoa, and anise. I kind of want to try this one. That sounds really interesting. I'm very curious about that. Let's try to keep moving through this. I've got to get to this review. I'm sorry. I guess we're only at 10 after 8. You don't think you did that right. Tony, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. All right, here's 3 releases from the last drop. There's a 40-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey with 74 bottles. It's $5,300 a bottle. That's so much. At 89.6 proof. There's a 22-year-old Infinity Rum Blend at 74 bottles. It's $3,100, and it's 106.2 proof. And then there is, jeez. Huh? 55-year-old single malt Scotch, 74 bottles, $8,300. $8,300 for 1 bottle of whiskey. $102,000. All right, thanks, Tony. 83.4 proof. That better be the best daggum bottle of whiskey you ever done bought and tasted. Number 34 is a 40-year-old from Auchentoshan. The Infinitum Run Blend. Wow. It's got origins in Guyana, Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, Venezuela, Guadalupe, Brazil, and Fiji. Wow. That's crazy. It's in a Liverpool warehouse for 22 years. And then the 55-year-old single malt is from Tomintoul Distillery. Tomintoul? Tomintoul. Anyway, go get your piggy bank out, kids. Daddy's thirsty. Scrape together your dimes, children. We're going to buy a whiskey. You were saving up for a soccer ball? Wrong. We are buying one bottle of 55-year-old single malt scotch. The founder of Nelson's Greenbrier has announced where he is headed next. Big Thirst? E-commerce sales? It's a consulting company? Andy Nelson is bringing a wealth of experience to Big Thirst Consulting. Ooh. Why does that feel gross? Does that feel gross to anybody else other than me? Sorry, Andy, but I feel like your talents are better served. Like, Nelson's Greenbrier made such good whiskey, and, like, you were at the head of it, and you're... Why does that feel weird? I don't know. I want to move on. Old Dominick is losing its master distiller, Alex Castle. Castle has been the head distiller since 2015 and master distiller since January of 2019. They announced this on Friday. They'll be leaving the Memphis, Tennessee distillery after 9 years. Oh, Alex is a lady. I'm sorry. Big Thirst is one of the online shopping partners. That makes it feel even weirder. Like, genuinely, that makes it feel even stranger and kind of grosser to me. I don't know. Feels weird, man. Money talks, I suppose. Also, I apologize for misgendering you, Alex. Did not realize you were a woman. Alex has decided to return to her home state of Kentucky to pursue new opportunities in the industry. Alex's last day will be Friday, May 24th. A statement from the distillery included the following quotes. While we are excited to see her embark on the new journey, it's bittersweet to see her go. We wish Alex all the best. Helping start up and launch Old Dominick has been one of the most exciting, enjoyable, and rewarding opportunities of not only my career, but also of my life. It's incredible to look back over the last 9 years and see just how much this team has accomplished. We've come a long way in that time, and I know the team will continue to take Old Dominick to new heights. So, excited to see where Alex is headed next, of course. The University of Kentucky, this is kind of cool, has announced the new Estate Whiskey Alliance. I'm not sure exactly what this means. We're going to find out together. I did not make it this far in my limited amount of research that I had time for. The Alliance will support research in agriculture, economics, manufacturing, and sustainability to shape the future of estate whiskey production, and will provide a licensing program authenticating estate whiskey certified products. They formally announced a new global initiative called the Estate Whiskey Alliance, established in 2023. The EWA is a consortium of members including whiskey producers, farmers, suppliers, academic institutions, and other related organizations. One of the EWA's goals is to promote the benefits of local sourcing and sustainability in the production of whiskey. The EWA will unveil its membership application process at a launch event in Lexington in the summer of 2024. Founding members of the EWA are UK, the UK James B. Beam Institute for Kentucky Spirits, and UK Innovate. It's UK research, basically. It's a global consortium that aims to discover, advance, and promote the benefits of local sourcing and production sustainability. We are excited about the EWA because it is the embodiment of partnership, research, education, technology transfer, and innovation economic development that not only benefits one of Kentucky's signature industries, but also the global whiskey industry. We have the unique ability to leverage the bourbon, agricultural, business, and sustainability expertise here in the Commonwealth and share it with a much broader audience, our current and future Alliance members. Very cool. Whew, my goodness. I told you we had a lot of news to get through this week. I'm sorry. Chattanooga Whiskey has a new Founders Blend to celebrate its 12th anniversary. It looks like it's 100 proof. It's got a bunch of different mash bills in it, it looks like. It's going to be on shelves in Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, and Wisconsin. It doesn't look like there's any information on what the mash bills are that are in it. Oh, wait, no. Here we go. Chattanooga Whiskey's Riverfront Distillery is home to their one-of-a-kind Solera room, with which completed installation shortly before the company's 10th anniversary. Built to symbolize Chattanooga Whiskey's past, present, and future, the room enshrines 3 custom charred oak Solera barrels, each of which contain whiskeys of vastly different styles and wide-ranging origin stories. Each year to commemorate their anniversary, Pearson? Who is Tim? How does he... Oh, he's the founder. Sorry. Tim Pearson evaluates the whiskey within each Solera barrel, trialing various blends to highlight the best of each recipe. After each year's blend is complete, the distilling team refills each tank with newly mature barrels, where they will quietly marry until the following year. This version of the time-honored Solera blending process allows the Founders Blend to evolve from year to year and gives each release its own unique flavor profile, and due to the complex Solera blending process, can never be replicated again. This year's blend is comprised of 1816. Sorry, hold on. Apologies. It's still light outside. It's wild. 1816 barrel 91. So 1816 was the past, barrel 91 was the present, and their infinity barrel, which symbolizes the future of the company. Here's some releases as well from Whiskey Advocate that are coming up. We just talked about the founder's 12th anniversary. Bluegrass Distiller's 6-year-old bottled and bond blue corn bourbon. Bullet 12-year-old rye at 92 proof, which pretty much is out at this moment. The new 4-gate Kelvin collaboration. This is 6, the blend, $200. 115.6 proof. It looks like it's going to be a lot online and in different states. Quest End. Tony said, where are the rest of you at? I think they're just listening and having a good time, man. There's a lot going on. There's a lot to digest, too. The new Quest End from Matthew Lillard and Critical Role. Sangteg's Hyde Bourbon. This looks Very interesting. Actually. Okay. Not a... $100 a bottle. 93 proof, I believe. Interesting. Old Potrero 16-year-old bottled and bond malted rye mash whiskey. California exclusive. There's the new releases. There's going to be a limited run of Evan Williams single barrel that is going to be in states outside of Kentucky this year, just because it seems like Heaven Hill was so happy with this year's run and they wanted to spread the wealth. So far, it looks like it's been in California, New Jersey, and Texas. So if you are in that area, be on the lookout for it. The new label approval for Uncle Nearest. This is a premium Tennessee whiskey 777 anniversary blend. That's about all of the information we have on that so far. Discovery Series 12 from Bardstown Bourbon Company, 48% Kentucky, 14-year-old bourbon, 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley. Fair enough, Tony. 29% Kentucky bourbon, 10-year-old, 78% corn, 10% rye, 12% malted barley. That's just Heaven Hill, isn't it? Or maybe. 15% Kentucky bourbon, 10-year-old, 78% corn, 13% rye, 9% malted barley, and then an 8% Bardstown Bourbon Company 6-year-old, 60% corn, 26% rye, 10% malted barley, and 4% malt. Wait, I said 10%. Sorry, 10% wheat and 4% malted barley at 115.2 proof. Another grain to glass from Heaven Hill. This is a wheated bourbon. It looks like it's going to be 121 proof. They're 35% wheat, 52% corn, and 13% malt. And then the new Silver Grove from New Riff is out. Another 95.5 rye at 116.4 proof. And their bourbon at 65% corn, 30% rye, and 5% malted barley at 116.2 proof. Yes, Tony, all of the Discovery is, not that one, Kentucky Juice again. I don't know if I can, it's going to let me zoom. Here, let me take your comment off. Yeah, Discovery Series 12 is all Kentucky whiskey. Kentucky bourbon. Looks like a good blend. I'm excited for it. I will definitely be giving it a try. For sure. So, anyway. Oh. My goodness. Well, you got 1 week of the lightest amount of news you've had in a while, and then a stream that's mostly news, and it just you just don't know what to do with yourself, I suppose. But finally, I think my palate's all nice and warmed up. I think I'm pretty much ready for the Raconteur Rye. Dear friend, Dave Jennings, new venture into the whiskey world, coming off of his single barrel Pride of Anderson County releases. Of course, it's nothing new for him. He has also had other private barrel selections, but this is something entirely different. This is blending products like he has done. I'll go ahead and read off the. Excuse me. I don't know how old one of these things is, but it's 119 proof, and LBC is 119, so yeah, this is going to be fun. Yep. But from the press release, the Woodwork Collective, in collaboration with David Jennings, a.k.a. RareBird101, announced the release of Raconteur Rye. Woodwork Collective and David Jennings, Spirits author and founder of RareBird101, are proud to announce a bold collaboration, Raconteur Rye. This small batch, barrel-proof rye whiskey will be available in limited quantities on May 10th, 2024, at a suggested retail price of $130. Raconteur Rye is a combination of 3 unique Indiana distilled 95.5 rye whiskeys, each aged a minimum of 7 years. Straight rye whiskey aged in new charred oak. Straight rye whiskey aged in a 48-month cured toasted oak barrel, and straight rye whiskey finished in a second fill Mizunara oak cask that previously held 18-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon. In addition, the final blend spent a month in Mizunara to refine the marriage. Bottled uncut and unfiltered at 120.48 proof, 60.24% alcohol by volume. Raconteur Rye offers a genuine straight from the barrel sipping experience. Curating Raconteur Rye was a dream come true for co-creator David Jennings. What began as a challenge to create a new flavor profile resulted in a hello, Jeffrey Wack. Good to see you. What began as a challenge to create a new flavor profile resulted in a rye expression reminiscent of the earliest days of my whiskey journey. If you're a fan of early 2010s 95.5 rye, you will love Raconteur Rye. Jennings spent months working with the staff of the Woodwork Collective and their diverse array of exceptional barrels. It was a pleasure to collaborate with James Simmons and the distillery team. Their experience and drive to experiment provided the perfect foundation for this project. I've read too much. My reading skills have fallen off. The same attention given to crafting Raconteur Rye was also granted to its look and feel. The labels feature a 19th century inspired design by artist Ricky Frame, printed on a vintage 1957 letterpress at Valhalla Studios in Kansas City, Missouri. Not only does Raconteur Rye taste like a step back in time, but it looks it as well. The inaugural release of Raconteur Rye is limited to 520 bottles and will be available exclusively at BourbonOutfitter.com. For additional information, visit RaconteurRye.com. Please drink responsibly. The link for all of that information, if you want to go to RaconteurRye.com, if you have questions or comments, you want to learn more about it, their social media links, it's all available, RaconteurRye.com. In the description for the video, for the live stream, go check that out below. So, Dave Jennings sent me the sample for this particular release. I have not smelled nor tasted this yet. This was a fresh crack of this sample bottle, 7 years old, 120.48 proof. I am very, very excited to get into this. Dave sent me a little message on Patreon the other day asking for my mailing address. I knew in the back of my mind that this release was coming up, and so I kind of thought maybe this was where we were heading. And so I got my hopes up a little bit. I was expecting another package yesterday, and then I also saw on top of it was this package with David's name on it as well, and I was very, very excited once I got into it to see that the Raconteur Rye was sitting in there. So, without further ado, I have not seen. I'm not saying that I am the first, but I certainly am one of the few that have gotten to experience this rye so far. I'm very, very excited, very honored to be able to experience, to taste, to review this one early on in its life cycle. Thank you, Dave. Thank you to the Woodwork Collective for allowing me the opportunity to do this. Here we go. Neat in the Glencairn. Golly, that color is beautiful. I mean, just rich copper. I don't know a better way to describe it, but let's smell it together, I suppose. I mean, you can't smell it. I will. Excuse me. Had something caught in my throat. Very sorry about that. Thank you all for being here on the night of the NFL draft. I did not even realize that was happening tonight. It is it's so rich. There is this typical peppermintness to it, but it's not overpowering in any capacity. I think what's really catching me more than anything is how enveloping the oak is on the nose. And how delicate some of these little, like, floral notes can be as well. There's a brief little hint of, like, cinnamon sugar, too. Very, very odd. Not odd in a way like I wouldn't expect it, but like it's incredibly multi-layered. I can tell just from the nose that this is going to be a treat for anybody who gets to pick this up. I mean, I immediately go back to the Pride of Anderson County rye that we got to taste, and just being blown away by how robust that whiskey was. And I'm kind of getting the same feeling that this might be leading me down the same path. So let's find out. Dadgummit. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh. That is a journey. That I was only slightly prepared for. The very first thing that hit me was the peppermint. But it was, and I've never experienced this before, it was like a toasted caramel with peppermint. Toasted caramel. I mean that. Like, you took a you know the torches that you take for like a creme brulee. It was like you used that on caramel that covered a peppermint. That was so interesting. I need a second sip before I can truly dive deeper into what's going on the palate. It is a spice bomb. It is spicy. There is black pepper for days. The oak is almost taking a back seat to some of the sweeter notes that are present. Well, also, oh, wow. What is this earthy note that's coming through? It's so incredibly complex. This finishing process that it's gone through is making it really, really. It's almost like I don't know how to describe what's happening to me. Banana nut muffin, honey, vanilla, baking spices with that like black pepper thing that I had going on up front. I haven't even talked about the finish yet, which is crazy because I'm still trying to dissect the palate with as much as it has going on. And as it's getting towards the finish, which still is 1,000,000 miles long, the finish is really what keeps me going back to it. I mean, not that the palate is anything to sleep on, because it's not. It truly is not. But the finish is just long enough where I'm really, really excited to keep going back and drinking it. And the finish cools down the palate. It gets it just sweet enough, and it's almost like peppermint ice cream, man. Or like the come down from a hot sauce. Where you're like, yeah, I could do that again. Oh, it's good. Oh, it's good. It is every bit of effort and work that has been given to it. I'm actually gonna pour a little bit more. Okay. This is delicious. Papa Ritter says, can you freaking go wrong with peppermint ice cream? I say no. I have to agree. Oops. What a great color. It's so spicy up front, but the finish on it is... It's perfect. This is an incredible rye whiskey. What an absolute triumph of a blend. Dad, I can't wait for you to try it. For sure. I mean, I'll be getting a bottle. There's no way I'm not. Well, heck. I do like too. There's something about this where I like that there is, and my palate's finally starting to acclimate to, and I think it's the proof that really is like it. That's what's bringing the spice bomb to so much of this. But my palate is finally starting to acclimate to so much of the spice. I love that this is going to be a reoccurring release. This first one, why am I getting now like it's just so good, man. It's so good that I can't wait to see too, and I'm already thinking about like what the next release is gonna be like, and I'm not even, I haven't even gotten a bottle of this. I just have the media sample. What an incredible, and this goes back to what we were talking about on the podcast this week, like micro batching. Like this is the ideal like micro batch product, right? 3 barrels of whiskey, finished or unfinished, but this is like, this is it, man. Like this is how you introduce a brand. Holy moly, Chris Tats, g'day baby, and all from down under. Just dropping in to say hi as I have to go to a chiropractor appointment. Chris, I hope you're doing well. It's been so long since I've seen you in a chat. I hope you're... Man, it's so good to see you. I love you guys. Looking forward to seeing you in a few months. So glad you love it, Perry. David, thank you for sending it. This is just a beautiful, incredible, magnificent rye whiskey. Even if you didn't set out to recreate the rye whiskeys that you remember from your early days of drinking ryes or your whiskey journey, this is everything and more that it should have been. But cheers to you, man. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to review it and experience it so early in its life cycle. It's a pleasure and an opportunity. A genuine, not just an opportunity, I got I got a little bit of like stage fright when you stopped in, David. I didn't mean to, but it was a very honorable opportunity. But thank you. Do we need to bring you some Rare Breed Unchill Filtered? Yes, please. Yes, please. You guys will be here when baby number 2 is almost due. So I will be locked into baby prep mode, but I will be very, very happy to see you in whatever capacity I will be able to. I mean, with it's going to be a very stressful time. Absolutely, David. David, as soon as the sample showed up on my front porch, I was like, well, I had to review it as soon as it got here. I had to. It just didn't make sense for me to hold on to it. Baby Mason will be here very soon. I'm going to be an uncle. I'm going to be an uncle within the next week, I'm hoping. I hope so. At this stage, I will be in Lexington for the first UK game, August 31st. Hopefully I'll be able to show up for I'm the first? I thought I would be within like the first like cycle of people that. Well, shoot, man. I didn't realize that I was the very first person to review it. Okay, well. The first review is in. It's worth it. Cam's opening it tonight. Awesome. I'm excited to see what he says too. I will tune. What time is Cam stream tonight? $10 p.m. Okay. I have not caught one of Cam's streams in a while. Apparently, I wasn't subscribed to his channel either with the podcast. Man, the guy's doing great numbers, too. Yo, what up, Emily? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. God, this is such an exceptional... The thing, and like, I am 100% when it is available next month, grabbing a bottle. I cannot wait to smoke a cigar with this. I mean, I've been in such a cigar mood, and I haven't had the chance to indulge in that yet. I cannot wait. And I'm sure you've done so too, Dave. But, lurking with a basic Rittenhouse, but it's good for a basic. Rittenhouse is such a great rye, though. There is nothing... No whiskey is basic. No whiskey is basic. Every whiskey, no matter what level, is everybody's favorite. Ritter Vacation, absolutely. We're having cigar night. My tummy spoke up. I said this earlier in the stream, but I had to run to Liquor Barn tonight to grab bottles for our episode that we're recording tomorrow. And I didn't have time to wait in line. But Wiley Cottle, whom I went to college with, and who designed this year's Derby bottle art for Woodford Reserve, and also he also did the, I've talked about it on stream, he also did the, just here, let me pull it up. Aaron? Hi, Aaron. We were at EKU at the same time. Small world. Yes. I was at EKU. I actually transferred there in 2014. After 3 years of being at Transylvania, and then I went for another 4 years. So I went to undergrad for 3 years. Also, Aaron, thank you for being in the chat. I don't know if you're new or if you've been around for a while, but it's very good to have you here. Thank you so much for being here. But yes, we were at EKU at the same time. It sounds like. Christmas Eve lunch. Yes. Dad knows when I transferred. And when I told him I was going to be in college for a little bit longer than I thought originally. Anyway. So I ran into Liquor Barn tonight to grab bottles, and Wiley was there, and I was going to show art. Get back to my I'm not on the haha. Sorry. So this was done by Wiley Cottle, whom I went to college with at Eastern Kentucky University. And he also did the Woodford Reserve bottle, which is beautiful. But he was at Liquor Barn signing bottles tonight, and I didn't get the chance to get one signed or pick it up, but I did grab a couple of the cigars, the Derby cigars while I was there. And I'll probably grab a couple more before all's said and done. But I'm curious how they are. But anyway, and it's funny too because with these Woodford Derby bottles, it's not like they're putting extra special Kentucky Derby, release bourbon in there. Yeah, it's just like regular Woodford. So I could take normal Woodford and smoke one of those cigars with it and see how it pairs, which I probably will. It is Woodford, yes, but we'll see. Anyway, it's been a long stream. I feel like I've crammed a lot into my 2 hours tonight, but thank you all so much for watching. This has been a lot of fun. Very busy night. Thank you again, Dave, for sending me the Raconteur Rye. What a fantastic release. I'm very excited for everyone else to get the chance to snag a bottle and do your own review. Let me know once you get to try it. That does it for this week's TIMBP Live. We will see you all real soon. Until next time, though, I'm Perry, and this has been TIMBP Live. See y'all next time.